Hello, friends. Take a moment and think about this. Every one of us is chasing something in life. Some people want wealth. Some want success. Others dream of recognition, power, or a higher social status. But here's an important question. What if you achieved everything you ever wanted, yet still didn't feel happy? Would all those achievements truly have any meaning? That is why happiness is one of the most valuable things we can ever pursue. Without it, even the greatest success can feel empty. In today's summary, we're going to explore one of the most insightful books ever written on this topic, The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Throughout this summary, you'll discover 6 life-changing lessons. First, you'll understand why happiness is your birthright. Second, we'll uncover the true source of lasting happiness. Third, you'll learn how to train your mind to become naturally happier. Fourth, we'll explore how to rediscover happiness after life knocks you down. Fifth, you'll discover a practical model for making happiness a permanent part of your life. And finally, you'll learn how building deeper relationships can bring lasting joy. So hello everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into the timeless wisdom of The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Let's begin with the very first lesson. Lesson 1. Happiness is your birthright. According to the Dalai Lama, the ultimate purpose of human life is simple. It is to find happiness. No matter who we are or where we come from, every one of us spends life searching for something better. Deep down, every decision we make is driven by one hope, that it will make us happier. But here's where many people go wrong. Some believe happiness is reserved only for the fortunate few. They think only lucky people are able to live joyful lives. The Dalai Lama completely disagrees with this belief. He explains that happiness is not something we're born with or without. Instead, it's a skill. And like every other skill, it can be developed through practice, patience, and consistent effort. Happiness isn't something you can purchase. It isn't a product waiting on a store shelf. It is a quality that grows within us. The Dalai Lama also speaks about training the mind. When most people hear the word training, they immediately think about gaining knowledge or becoming more intelligent. But mental training is much deeper than that. It involves developing both the mind and the heart. True mental growth combines intelligence with emotional understanding. Only then can we create lasting happiness. Let's understand this idea through 2 different people. Meet Sarah. Sarah has what most people dream about. She has an excellent corporate career. She earns a high income. She owns a beautiful home. Her lifestyle is luxurious, and she enjoys every comfort money can buy. From the outside, it seems like she has the perfect life. Yet inside, things are very different. Sarah constantly feels stressed. She often feels anxious. No matter what she achieves, something always feels missing. As soon as she earns one promotion, she starts chasing the next. As soon as her salary increases, she begins wanting even more. Her happiness depends entirely on external achievements. Because of that, every joyful moment disappears almost as quickly as it arrives. Despite all her success, Sarah realizes she still doesn't feel truly happy. Now let's meet David. David works as a school teacher. His life is simple. He doesn't own expensive things. He isn't chasing luxury. Yet every day, he finds reasons to smile. He enjoys life's simple pleasures. He laughs with his friends. He appreciates the little moments that many people overlook. His happiness isn't controlled by money, status, or possessions. Instead, it comes from kindness, meaningful relationships, and the ability to enjoy the present moment. Even when difficult situations arise, David manages to stay calm and peaceful. Now compare these 2 lives. Sarah spends her life chasing success outside herself, yet she remains dissatisfied. David, on the other hand, builds happiness from within, allowing him to experience contentment even in ordinary moments. Their stories teach us an important lesson. Real happiness doesn't belong only to a chosen few. It isn't reserved for wealthy people or those who seem successful. Happiness belongs to every human being. It is not a privilege. It is our birthright. Once we understand this truth, we stop searching for happiness in places where it can never permanently exist. Instead, we begin developing it inside ourselves. And that's exactly where lasting happiness begins. Lesson 2. What is the real source of happiness? Now that we've understood that happiness is everyone's birthright, the next question naturally becomes, where does true happiness actually come from? Most people believe happiness comes from money, success, relationships, or material possessions. While these things can certainly make life more comfortable, the Dalai Lama explains that they are not the real source of lasting happiness. Let's understand why. Your happiness has a natural baseline. Every person has what psychologists call a baseline level of happiness. Think of it as your mind's default emotional setting. Life's events can temporarily push that level up or down, but after some time, your emotions usually return to their normal state. For example, imagine someone wins a huge lottery jackpot. At first, they're overwhelmed with excitement. They feel happier than ever before. But as weeks and months pass, that excitement slowly fades. Eventually, they return to the same emotional state they were in before winning the lottery. The same thing happens after many major life events. External achievements create temporary happiness, but they rarely create permanent happiness. The trap of comparison. Another reason many people struggle to stay happy is because they constantly compare themselves with others. They compare salaries, they compare houses, they compare cars, they compare lifestyles, and every comparison creates the feeling that someone else has more. This naturally gives birth to jealousy, dissatisfaction, and frustration. The Dalai Lama offers a completely different perspective. Instead of comparing yourself with people who seem more successful, look at those who have fewer opportunities than you. When you appreciate what you already have, instead of focusing on what you lack, contentment naturally begins to grow. Gratitude replaces dissatisfaction. Satisfaction replaces envy. This simple shift completely changes the way we experience life. Inner qualities create lasting happiness. The Dalai Lama doesn't deny that external success has value. Money, career achievements, healthy relationships. All of these can certainly contribute to happiness, but only to a certain extent. Beyond that point, lasting happiness depends on something much deeper. It depends on the qualities we develop within ourselves. Qualities like compassion, kindness, gratitude, empathy, a positive outlook on life. These inner qualities continue creating happiness, regardless of external circumstances. Let's understand this through another story. Meet Emma. Emma is a highly successful lawyer. She earns an impressive income. She owns a beautiful home. She enjoys a luxurious lifestyle that many people admire. From the outside, everything looks perfect. But internally, she constantly feels anxious. She worries about staying ahead. She compares herself with coworkers who earn more. She compares her lifestyle with neighbors who seem more successful. No matter how much she achieves, someone always appears to have something better. Because of this, her happiness depends entirely on promotions, possessions, and social status. As a result, satisfaction never lasts. Now let's meet Alex. Alex's life looks very different. He doesn't depend on expensive possessions to feel fulfilled. Instead, he finds joy in meaningful conversations. He enjoys helping other people. He spends time developing himself. He appreciates the simple experiences that bring genuine peace. While Emma continues chasing happiness outside herself, Alex builds happiness from within. His compassion, his gratitude, his meaningful relationships. These qualities allow him to remain satisfied, regardless of what others have. This is the biggest difference between them. Emma's happiness depends on circumstances she cannot fully control. Alex's happiness comes from qualities he chooses to develop every day. And that's exactly what the Dalai Lama wants us to understand. External achievements may increase happiness for a short time, but only inner growth can make happiness last. If we truly want lasting satisfaction, we must spend less time comparing ourselves with others and more time strengthening the qualities that already exist within us. When compassion grows, when gratitude becomes natural, when our perspective changes, real happiness begins to appear, not for a moment, but for a lifetime. Lesson 3. Train your mind to create lasting happiness. Now let's move on to the third lesson from The Art of Happiness, and this is one of the most practical ideas in the entire book. The Dalai Lama teaches that just as we exercise our bodies to stay physically healthy, we must also train our minds if we want to experience lasting happiness. Think about it. If you never exercise, your body gradually becomes weak. In exactly the same way, if you never train your mind, negative thoughts, stress, fear, and anxiety begin taking control. Mental training helps shape the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we respond to life's situations. The power of intention. The first step in training the mind is setting the right intention. Your intention acts like a compass. It quietly guides your thoughts, decisions, and actions throughout the day. When your intentions are positive, they influence every experience you have. They become the foundation upon which happiness is built. But intention isn't simply about wishing for something. It's about aligning your inner thoughts with the kind of life you truly want to create. When your actions match your values, your mind naturally becomes more peaceful. Meditation, a tool for training the mind. The Dalai Lama also emphasizes meditation as one of the most effective ways to strengthen the mind. Meditation develops three important qualities: mindfulness, concentration, compassion. When we meditate, we learn to observe our thoughts instead of immediately reacting to them. Instead of being controlled by every emotion that appears, we begin watching those thoughts with awareness. Gradually, we free ourselves from old mental habits that no longer serve us. Mindfulness allows us to recognize what's happening inside our minds. And once we're aware of our thoughts, we gain the power to choose healthier responses instead of acting automatically. Compassion creates inner peace. Another essential part of mental training is compassion. The Dalai Lama explains that compassion means developing kindness, not only toward others, but also toward ourselves. As compassion grows, many negative emotions naturally begin to weaken. Anger becomes less intense. Jealousy starts disappearing. Resentment slowly loses its grip. Many people mistakenly believe compassion is a sign of weakness. But according to the Dalai Lama, it's actually one of the greatest signs of inner strength and wisdom. The importance of gratitude. Gratitude is another powerful habit that transforms the mind. Most people spend their lives thinking about everything they don't have. The Dalai Lama encourages us to reverse that habit. Instead of focusing on what's missing, appreciate what already exists in your life. Be thankful for the air you breathe, the warmth of the morning sun, the laughter of your loved ones, the opportunities you have today. As gratitude becomes a habit, your perspective begins to change. And when your perspective changes, your happiness naturally grows. Let's understand these ideas through a story. Meet Ravi. Ravi worked in a demanding job that filled his days with stress. His mind never seemed to rest. Deadlines, financial responsibilities, family concerns. His thoughts raced constantly. One day, a wise teacher suggested that Ravi attend a mindfulness workshop. Curious, he decided to give it a try. During the workshop, the teacher introduced him to meditation and explained how training the mind could completely transform the way he experienced life. Inspired by the lesson, Ravi began meditating every day. Each morning he sat quietly. Instead of fighting his thoughts, he simply observed them. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. Slowly, Ravi noticed something changing inside him. His mind no longer reacted immediately to every stressful situation. Instead of responding impulsively, he found himself pausing first. That small pause changed everything. One peaceful morning during meditation, Ravi experienced something unexpected. He felt a deep sense of compassion. For the first time, he realized that everyone around him, including his coworkers, family members, and even complete strangers, was carrying their own struggles. This understanding changed the way he looked at people. One day at the office, Ravi noticed a colleague who was upset after making a mistake. Earlier, he might have become irritated or criticized him, but this time he responded differently. He walked over and offered his help. The relief on his coworker's face immediately brought a smile to Ravi's own heart. At that moment, he understood something important. Compassion wasn't just helping someone else. It was also bringing peace to himself. Little by little, Ravi transformed his inner world. The pressures of life didn't suddenly disappear. Deadlines still existed. Responsibilities remained the same. Challenges continued coming. The difference was that Ravi now faced them with a calmer and stronger mind. He began finding happiness in the smallest moments. helping another person, enjoying his morning cup of tea, watching the sunrise. Simply being present. Ravi's journey teaches us one powerful lesson. Happiness isn't a destination waiting somewhere outside us. It's an inner transformation. When we train our minds through meditation, when we practice compassion, when we develop gratitude, we create a lasting sense of well-being that remains with us, even during life's most difficult moments. Lesson 4. Rediscovering happiness after life's difficulties. Now let's move on to the fourth lesson from The Art of Happiness. One of the Dalai Lama's most comforting teachings is this: every human being is born with the natural ability to experience happiness. In other words, happiness isn't something we need to search for somewhere outside ourselves. It's already within us. Sometimes we simply lose touch with it. Think of a tiny seed. At first glance, it looks small and ordinary, but hidden inside that seed is the potential to grow into a huge, flourishing tree. In the same way, every one of us carries the potential for happiness and inner peace. Life's disappointments may cover it. Pain may hide it. Difficult experiences may make us forget it's there. But it never truly disappears. According to the Dalai Lama, the deepest source of happiness comes from qualities like love, compassion, kindness, and genuine affection. These aren't rare gifts given to only a few people. They are part of our natural human nature. Whenever we strengthen our relationships, treat people with kindness, and choose compassion over anger, we reconnect with that inner source of happiness. Understanding Buddha nature. The Dalai Lama also introduces an important idea known as Buddha nature. This teaching suggests that every living being already possesses qualities such as compassion, gentleness, and goodness. Although this idea comes from Buddhist philosophy, its message applies to everyone, regardless of religion. The point is simple. Kindness already exists within us. It doesn't have to be created. It only needs to be rediscovered. Whenever we replace aggression with compassion, whenever we choose understanding instead of hatred, we reconnect with that natural goodness. Let's understand this through another story. Meet Elena. Elena had recently gone through one of the most painful experiences of her life. Her relationship had ended unexpectedly. She felt heartbroken, confused, completely lost. It seemed as though all the happiness had disappeared from her life. Looking for some peace, she decided to attend a meditation retreat. There, she learned about the Dalai Lama's teachings on rediscovering happiness. During one quiet meditation session, something unexpected happened. As Elena sat silently, she began noticing a gentle feeling deep within herself. A feeling she hadn't experienced in years. Slowly, memories from her childhood started returning. She remembered laughing freely with her friends, helping people without expecting anything in return, enjoying simple moments without worrying about the future. That's when she realized something powerful. Her happiness had never actually disappeared. It had simply been hidden beneath pain, disappointment, and life's challenges. This realization changed everything. Instead of trying to transform her life overnight, Elena began making small changes. She smiled at strangers. She volunteered at an ashram to help people in need. Most importantly, she forgave herself for the mistakes she had been carrying for so long. Each small act of kindness slowly reignited the light within her. Little by little, she felt connected again. Connected to herself. Connected to other people. Connected to life itself. Elena's story reminds us of an important truth. Happiness isn't something we must chase in the outside world. It's an inner strength that already exists within us. When we embrace our natural kindness, when we choose compassion, when we reconnect with our true nature, joy begins returning on its own. Lesson 5. A new model for making happiness part of everyday life. Now let's move to the fifth lesson from the book. The Dalai Lama explains that two of the strongest emotions human beings can experience are compassion and intimacy. As social beings, we naturally seek connection. We all want someone we can talk to, someone who understands us, someone with whom we can share kindness, trust, and genuine emotions. This brings us to what the Dalai Lama calls the friendship model. According to this model, true intimacy isn't limited to romantic relationships. It can grow through meaningful connections with friends, family members, coworkers, even complete strangers. The foundation of these relationships is built on three things: trust, compassion, shared experiences. Let's understand this through another story. Meet Maya. Maya had built a successful career. Professionally, everything seemed to be going well. Yet, despite all her achievements, something still felt missing. Her personal life felt empty. She longed for deeper, more meaningful relationships. One day, she decided to join a community discussion group where people gathered to share their life experiences. There she met Eva. Eva was an elderly woman with bright eyes and decades of wisdom. She spoke openly about her life. She shared stories about her late husband, the struggles they had overcome together, the joyful memories they had created over the years. Maya was deeply moved by Eva's honesty. For the first time, she realized that true intimacy wasn't limited to romantic love. Real connection could exist anywhere genuine understanding existed. Over the following months, Maya slowly began opening herself to other people. She listened patiently whenever her neighbors needed someone to talk to. She spent more time laughing with her coworkers during lunch breaks. She became more present in every conversation. Gradually, she discovered something beautiful. Meaningful relationships often grow during the simplest moments. Her friendship with Eva became one of the most valuable parts of her life. Together they celebrated joyful moments. Together they supported each other through difficult times. Eventually, when Eva passed away, Maya experienced deep sadness. But alongside that grief, she also felt immense gratitude. Their friendship had enriched her life in ways she never expected. Through Eva, Maya learned that genuine intimacy isn't about finding perfect people. It's about showing up with honesty, listening with compassion, sharing life's moments together. As time passed, Maya found beauty everywhere. In quiet conversations on a park bench, in a child's joyful laughter, even in the wrinkles of an elderly person's warm smile. Her heart had become more open than ever before. Maya's journey teaches us an unforgettable lesson. True intimacy isn't limited to romantic relationships. It grows wherever compassion, understanding, and shared experiences exist. When we embrace the friendship model, meaningful connections become possible with the people all around us. Always remember, intimacy is one of life's greatest gifts. It's something we both receive and give. And at its heart, it's simply the beautiful art of being fully present with another human being. Lesson 6. Build deeper connections with others. Now we've reached the sixth and final lesson from the art of happiness. According to the Dalai Lama, one of the greatest sources of lasting happiness is our ability to build meaningful relationships. True happiness doesn't grow by isolating ourselves from others. It grows when we genuinely connect with the people around us. The truth is, many of us interact with others every day, but very few of those interactions are truly meaningful. We engage in casual conversations, we spend hours scrolling through social media, we chat with friends about everyday topics, but very rarely do we move beyond the surface. Real relationships require something deeper. They require authenticity, they require vulnerability, and above all, they require compassion. The art of truly listening, one of the Dalai Lama's most powerful teachings, is surprisingly simple. Learn to listen, not just to hear someone's words, but to truly be present while they speak. When another person is talking, give them your complete attention. Don't interrupt. Don't judge. Don't think about what you're going to say next. Simply listen with an open heart. This itself is an act of compassion. It tells the other person, you matter. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. When people feel genuinely heard, trust naturally begins to grow. And trust becomes the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Shared experiences create stronger bonds. The Dalai Lama also explains that relationships become stronger through shared experiences, whether we celebrate someone's success or stand beside them during difficult times. Those moments create emotional bonds that last for years. Compassion acts like a bridge. It allows us to step into another person's world, understand their emotions, and walk beside them through life's journey. Let's understand this through one final story. Meet Raj. Raj had achieved success in his career. Professionally, everything seemed to be going well. Yet despite his accomplishments, he often felt an emptiness inside. He realized that what he truly wanted wasn't more success. He wanted deeper human connection. One day, Raj met an elderly woman named Mrs. Gupta. As they talked, Mrs. Gupta began sharing stories from her younger days. She spoke about the struggles she had overcome, the joyful moments she had experienced, the people she had loved throughout her life. Raj didn't simply hear her words. He truly listened. He noticed the wrinkles on her face. To him, they looked like pages from a remarkable life story. That conversation changed something inside him. Over the following weeks, Raj continued visiting Mrs. Gupta. They talked about everything: childhood memories, the changing weather, dreams, life lessons, simple, everyday experiences. Then one day, Mrs. Gupta became emotional. With tears in her eyes, she spoke about her late husband. She remembered the happiness they had shared, the challenges they had faced together, the quiet moments that had shaped their lives. Raj sat beside her. Sometimes they laughed together. Sometimes they cried together. Through those conversations, a beautiful friendship developed. Eventually, Mrs. Gupta passed away. Raj felt deep sadness, but along with that grief came an overwhelming feeling of gratitude. Their friendship had changed him forever. It taught him something he would never forget. Meaningful relationships aren't measured by the number of people we know. They're measured by the depth of understanding we share with them. From that day forward, Raj carried Mrs. Gupta's lessons into every relationship. He listened more carefully. He became more compassionate. He appreciated shared experiences instead of rushing through conversations. Slowly, every relationship in his life became stronger. Raj's journey reminds us of an important truth. Deep relationships don't happen automatically. They grow through genuine listening, through empathy, through shared joy, and through standing beside one another during difficult times. The Dalai Lama teaches that happiness flourishes in relationships built on authenticity and compassion. When we truly listen, when we sincerely care, when we share both happiness and sorrow, we create connections that enrich not only other people's lives, but our own as well. Final thoughts. So friends, these were the timeless lessons from The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Let's quickly revisit everything we've learned. First, happiness is not a privilege reserved for a fortunate few. It's the birthright of every human being. Second, lasting happiness doesn't come from wealth, status, or material success. It comes from developing qualities like gratitude, compassion, and a positive outlook. Third, just as we train our bodies, we must also train our minds through meditation, mindfulness, compassion, and thankfulness. Fourth, happiness is never truly lost. It's already within us, waiting to be rediscovered through kindness, love, and reconnecting with our true nature. Fifth, meaningful friendships and genuine human connections make happiness a natural part of everyday life. Real intimacy grows through trust, compassion, and shared experiences. And finally, true happiness becomes deeper when we build authentic relationships by listening with our full attention, showing empathy, and walking beside others through both joyful and difficult moments. If these 6 lessons become part of your daily life, you'll begin to realize something incredible. Happiness isn't a destination waiting somewhere in the future. It's a way of living that you can practice every single day. Remember, lasting joy isn't created by collecting more possessions. It's created by developing a peaceful mind, a compassionate heart, and meaningful relationships. Friends, I hope you found this summary valuable and learned something that will help you live a happier and more fulfilling life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to know which lesson resonated with you the most. And if you'd like more in-depth audiobook-style summaries of life-changing books, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again with another inspiring book, take care of yourself, spread kindness wherever you go, and remember, true happiness begins within you.